Are you ready to unlock growth, build resilience, and confidently take the next step in leadership, career, and faith? Welcome to The Next Move. I'm Orvin Kimbrough, a CEO, author, and leader with a passion for helping people and organizations thrive. My journey from foster care to CEO has fueled my mission to help professionals scale their confidence, leadership, and influence through mindset shifts, expanded networks, and bold action. Each week, I'll share reflections ripped straight from my blog to inspire and empower you with actionable insights. Let's get started and make your next move your best move. Welcome back to The Next Move, the podcast where we explore faith, leadership, and personal growth to help you take your next step with purpose and confidence. I'm your host, Orvin Kimbrough, and today's episode is about something I believe is often overlooked in leadership conversations, especially in high growth environments. It's not the projects you finish. It's not just the wins you rack up. It's what happens in the messy spaces between those wins that define the kind of leader you really are. And if you don't intentionally manage those spaces, if you don't intentionally manage those transitions, you might find yourself inheriting chaos you never intended to create. Let's dive in. When I first stepped into banking back in 2019, it felt like stepping onto a moving train. Vision for growth wasn't a suggestion. It was an expectation. And if I was going to survive, even thrive beyond the first 18 months of what I call a grand experiment, I had to adapt fast. My approach was to build everything in real time. It's almost like flying a plane and changing the engine. It was fast, it was messy, human-centered, but focused on unleashing the potential of people. I had to focus on that while moving full speed ahead. Every day, we were making decisions. Every win felt like a jolt of momentum that we couldn't afford to lose. But underneath all of that momentum, I realized something critical. Speed without steadiness can be dangerous. You can race forward and still lose good people that you want to keep. You can race forward and still lose good people along the way. You can hit your numbers and still watch as trust crumbles. That's when I started to understand and recognize something deeper about leadership. It's not just about moving forward. It's about making sure the people moving with you, who you want to go with you, making sure that they don't fall off. Now, don't get me wrong. Growth feels good. Momentum is exciting. Wins are important. But here's the biggest lessons I've learned. While we are getting things done, while we are pushing ourselves to the edge of our expertise to grow and develop broader, more nuanced capabilities, we must also tend to the human side of change. In banking, one thing that keeps us grounded is real-time feedback. You either win a deal or you don't. That scoreboard is brutally honest and it's valuable. But there are other parts of leadership that aren't so black and white. Hiring, for example. Hiring a banker or building a team isn't just about whether the person produces. It's actually deeper than that. I love the word banker, and I've been using it a whole lot more than lender because to me, it's not just about lending or having lending capabilities. You're not just a lender, you are a banker. When I think about bankers, and honestly, when I think about any great team member, whether on my team in this business or in other businesses, I don't think about business simply as builders. You're not just producers. You're not just deal makers. You're not just operators or efficiency experts. Folks, you are people who shape the culture. You are people who shape the momentum. You are people who shape the future of the organization. And that's where leadership, when you start thinking beyond just a function, leadership truly shows up when you think like this. Most people think leadership itself is about getting things done. Hire the right person, check. Close the deal, check. Finish the project, check. But the real work isn't about managing all of those things. It's about managing the transitions that happen between those milestones. Because between every done and between every next thing, there's an invisible space where trust is either built or it's broken. We all have to-do lists. We all have goals. We all want to keep moving forward. But if we don't manage the emotional, if we don't manage the cultural and operational shifts that come with change, we risk losing the very thing that we are fighting for, momentum. We risk damaging trust and stalling growth. I spent a lot of time with our executive team and our board thinking about transitions. So why do I do that? Because every time the environment changes, whether it's a new hire, a new strategy, a new structure, there are undercurrents happening beneath the surface. And if you don't tend to those undercurrents, they can pull the whole ship off course. I've learned this lesson time and time again, and I've learned it, firsthand. Years ago, we hired an incredible leader. This leader was smart, talented, driven. We celebrated the hire. We checked the box. We moved forward. But we didn't prepare the team for the shift. Alliances shifted, roles blurred, trust eroded. Without meaning to, we created turbulence that could have been avoided if I own this, if I had led more intentionally through the transition. That experience taught me something I'll never forget, or better yet, it just reminds me. New talent doesn't just add to a team, it actually reshapes a team. Over the past 5 years, we've gone through significant transitions in my job, in my company, and we're still going through them. Change isn't a single moment. Change is a season. Sometimes it's several seasons strung together. And how you manage those seasons determine whether you emerge stronger or you stall out. I often ask one of my colleagues, the president of the bank who does a lot of recruiting, what he believes is the most important aspect of growth. His answer never changes. It's getting the right person. And folks, I'll take it one step further. It's getting the right person and then helping the whole system absorb that change in a healthy way. Hiring isn't the finish line. It's the starting line for a whole new race. Here's what I've learned and am still learning every day. I try to commit this to myself. Leadership isn't about the checklist. It's about what happens. It's about what happens between the checklist items. Transitions are like crossroads. They either move you forward or split you apart. Pay attention to culture shifts, not just operational shifts. Clarity and communication are your best tools in transition seasons. I've learned the human side of change isn't optional. It's actually the heart of leadership. So here's my challenge for you this week. Just name one transitioning happening in your team, even a small one. Ask yourself, what's shifting emotionally? What's shifting culturally? And what's shifting operationally? Take one step to bring clarity, direction, or reassurance to the people in the team. Because leadership isn't just about finishing projects. It's about strengthening the people who finish them. And if you don't manage the transition, you're going to inherit the chaos. The best leaders don't just take on more. They take better care of what matters most. You know what matters most? Their people, their culture, and their future. Thanks for joining me on this episode of The Next Move. If you found value in today's conversation, please share it with someone, share it with a colleague, leave me a review or send me a note. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time. Thank you for tuning in to The Next Move. I hope today's reflection inspired you to take the next step in your leadership, career, or faith journey. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need a little encouragement this week. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like more reflections or resources, visit orvinkimbrough.com or theaccidentalbanker.com. Until next time, remember, every step you take brings you closer to thriving. Let's keep moving forward together.